Hi, welcome, welcome back. Here I am on April 4th, 2018, one day before my blood brother's birthday. Um, Today, I would like to talk a little bit about fatherhood and about my daughter, um, as I've been asked to do so, and as it's been pointed out to me so many times already that when people see me and my daughter together, they just see pure love. It's obvious to everyone just by looking at a picture of us or us walking through, a trail holding hands in public. People just melt by seeing such a lovely daughter-father duo couple, and that is because I have loved my daughter so much. I never hit her, ever, and she always used to fall asleep in my hands, which means she always felt safe. And that ended up being a routine till very late in her age, where I used to always be the one to put her to bed. And she has become an incredible person in my life. It's like it's hard to describe, but I will slowly describe it to you, one video by one, and they will be dedicated to fatherhood and my daughter, and how to be a good father. After, for example, I can speak on the topic. I feel like it because a lot of people point out that I'm a good father. And actually, after separating from my ex-wife, the court system and the Ministry of Children has ordered that we take this after separation parenting course, and depending on how you would do is how they would decide custody and how would begin custody trial, which I went through. And I aced it. I got 98% on that final exam, and I've always been a good dad. I've always tell my daughter I love you every day of her life. And sometimes I tell her so many times that it's almost annoying, but I believe in that. I tell her every day that I love her, and she tells me too, She loves me very, very much. She loves me very, very much, and we are so connected, and also we have a beautiful rule, like when we're together, we don't argue, we don't raise our voice. As soon as one does, then the other starts reminding the other person, to mellow out. We are not supposed to argue, and that's a ground rule. I have left the family home when Eliza was only 5. Now Eliza will be 11 in June. And she has been a great jewel. She has been a great jewel and a great inspiration. She has been a main factor in my survival throughout all these mental and physical struggles that I've been having, My daughter was born on June 2nd, 2007. And 2 years later, I went into AA and quit drinking. That was over 9 years ago now. And I still don't drink, because I thought it was wrong to see my daughter, me with the bottle all the time. And I did not want her to think that that was normal. That was bad, Another thing is, I would never have a kid in a city environment like Toronto, for example, Scarborough, where I grew up. The only reason I had a kid is because, first of all, I found a woman that I knew would be a good mother. And second of all, I took her to this beautiful island where There is no police, there is no fashion statements, there is no bullying much going on. Um, they're surrounded with oceans, mountains, and forests. They know more about animals and plants than any other kids I know from anywhere else. They're very highly educated. They know how to plant, and I am very grateful for that. Her backyard has always been, since she was born, we had a home birth, by the way. Since she was born, her backyard has been the ocean front, where her mama and hers still live, where we used to all live together back in the day. Oceanfront property where the backyard goes straight onto the beach. So her backyard has always been the beach. My backyard, unfortunately, has always been the slums. And I am very grateful that my little baby is so pure, and so lovely, so incredibly. She loves her mommy and daddy very, very much, and she's very fair to us both. And when she was born, I quit drinking, but I still kept on drugging, For some reason, many people, like my friends and my parents, thought that having a child would change me and finally get this heroin problem out of the way. Yet, it got rid of my alcoholism problem. It totally toned down my anger management problem. But it did not stop my injection of heroin problem, It did not stop my addiction to that, unfortunately, And then I got really busy with raising my daughter and maintaining my habit, maintaining work, and also making sure I still have some kind of reputation. I live in a small community, and my life is an open book, like I said. So pretty much the entire community knows where I come from and what I'm all about, except for the new people here, And I'm not afraid, even though it might hurt me a bit, by not getting enough work and recognition and disrespect. I'd rather have that than people not knowing who I really am. So here I am telling you who I am. And I love my daughter with all of my heart. 3 years ago, when I went back on methadone in order to save my own life, I did that also for my daughter because I was not ready to die. I knew and I felt how much my daughter, at the age of, 7, really needed her dad. And now that she's 10 and turning into 11, that I've been on the program and sobered up a lot, and thanks to her, thanks to my mother, thanks to my girlfriend, I've been able to get power and inspiration to do better. And otherwise, I would lose them. I would lose my daughter. I went through 3 years of custody battle against my wife, who wanted a restraining order against me, who wanted to take my daughter completely away from me. And in order to get my daughter back, and in order to get my life back, I had to gather all my willpower, get out there, be my own lawyer for 3 years, fight in court, and be the best I can be in rehab. And I was doing everything possible. Somehow, when it comes to your own child, and for those who are parents know, and those who will know, when it comes to your own child, you pretty much, there is no second guessing, there is no debating. You know what you have to do, you wake up, you get up, and you go and do it. That's part one of why and how I love my daughter. She's incredible. She's incredible. She calls me, even though she's in Costa Rica right now, she calls me a couple times a week just to say hi and check up on Daddy. And to say I love you. Just like Daddy taught her, she says I love you to me every time she sees me. My little angel. My little angel. And I'll tell you a story about an angel, actually, that my daughter has given me for my birthday a few years back. Before I finish, really quickly. This angel, which you see before you, was given to me, the very exact same angel. Okay? The one hugging itself, representing self-love, was given to me by my dear friend Nikki many years ago in order to protect me. And for some reason I felt so connected to it that I never ever left home without it. It was always in my pocket. And whenever I would displace it somewhere, I would get extremely anxious. It was the most valuable thing to me, and still is, I think, from everything I own. And then, one day, I had lost it. I had lost it on a trip to Toronto. Completely gone, forever. I was devastated. And then guess what? My birthday came along one day, and as soon as I woke up, my daughter ran downstairs and handed me this. And while I was in shock, I'm like, Eliza, where did you get this? She said, I found it at the free store on Denman about half a year ago, and I've kept it that long, until your birthday. Do you believe in miracles? This thing never leaves my pocket. It is now carry the energy of my daughter Eliza and my dear sister Nikki. I love you. I love you all. I love you, Lao. Ciao. To be continued.